Okay, so the digestive fire, let's talk about the digestive fire, and I'm going to start pulling over some things here that are going to help us with digestive fire. What is digestive fire anyway? Well, this is an idea from Ayurvedic medicine. It's called Agni or Agni, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And it's the idea that we need to have a certain amount of energy within our digestive system, within our abdominal cavity, in order for us to process our food correctly and also to get everything out of our food and get the nutritive content out of our food that we need to be getting. Now, for many of us, our digestion is compromised in some way. For some of us, our digestion is sluggish. For some of us, our digestion is moving too fast. For some of us, our digestion is just like constantly disrupted. We have a lot of abdominal issues. For some of us, our digestion is usually good, but we go into today's like Thanksgiving, like tomorrow, and we eat a lot more. We eat foods that we don't normally eat, and all of a sudden everything is not feeling right. Same thing might happen to you when you're traveling. So here are some ideas for you to help stoke your digestive fire. The first one is one that I don't currently have an example of, and that is the idea of using digestive bitters. So bitters are a class of herbs that are known to help to increase the bile of your body to help you digest your foods more easily. Now, many of us, because of the types of foods we eat or the lifestyle that we have chosen, our bodies are actually not producing enough bile to digest our food well. And there's a lot of factors that go into that, and there's a lot of controversy around that as well. But one of the things that's traditionally been done is to simply use some bitters to stoke that digestive fire before you eat. So bitters can be purchased many different places online. Bitters are actually what is used in alcoholic beverages, like mixed beverages, when it says to put in Angostura bitters or something like that. It is a concoction of herbs that's been tinctured and concentrated to help with digestion. And of course, we know that a lot of our cocktails, either pre-dinner cocktails or post-dinner cocktails, like a cognac, for example, the original idea behind those was to help to get the digestion going a little bit, or to help aid in digestion for heavier meals after the meal is over. We've kind of gotten away from the medicinal idea of cocktails, and now there's a lot of sugar and things that are unhealthy that are put into those. But one of the things that is healthy from those type of cocktails is the bitters. Now, you don't have to use the bitters that are just used in cocktails. There's all different types of bitters that are put into different formulas that you can find on Amazon and different places online where you can source herbs that would have different things that you could try for that. Now, if you don't have bitters with you, what you can do is play with bitter flavor. So if you have anything bitter flavored in your refrigerator, so maybe it's some greens, like something like an arugula would be a really good example of a bitter. You can actually munch on a little bit of that about 20 minutes before you eat, and the bitter flavor actually activates different processes in your digestive system. You actually have to taste the bitter flavor, unfortunately, and we've kind of lost our zest for the bitter flavor, if you will, because we eat so much sweet. But the bitter flavor is one of our 5 flavor profiles, and it's so important because it actually activates some things, this cascade of reactions from our brain all the way through our digestion that tell our digestion, hey, we need to get ready to digest some food, we're getting some bitter flavor, let's make sure that we get all the digestive juices going. So play with bitter flavors. That's my first bit of advice. Second bit of advice goes along with what we talked about last week a little bit, and that is increasing the spiciness of your food. So if you think of stoking your digestive fire, what are some of our fiery spices? Things like, where did it go? Things like cinnamon. So what I would suggest doing is getting some cinnamon quills, or even some powdered cinnamon, that's fine too. And if you're having coffee tomorrow or cider or anything like that, put a cinnamon quill in there and just kind of make sure that you take some time drinking that beverage and let the cinnamon go to work for you. So the cinnamon itself has properties in it that are going to help to stoke that digestive fire. It's going to help you to digest your food at a faster rate. So when we have a heavy meal, it's hard on our body, it's hard on the digestion. The cinnamon and other flavors of spiciness, that can actually help to increase the digestion. And another herb that we have that's really, really great for stoking the digestive fire is ginger. And it's so interesting. What are some of the flavors in pumpkin pie? What are some of the flavors in a lot of our fall cooking? It's all of these warming spices. So ginger, you know, throw it in some of the recipes that you're making for tomorrow, or even mix a little ginger in with your coffee in the morning. That would be great. Put a little bit of ginger in a pre-meal cocktail. That would also be great. Either fresh or dried is fine. Both of them are going to help with your digestion. Now, if you are just not much for those spicy flavors, but you still want to get some of the benefits of them, there are some supplements out there that specifically have a lot of these elements in them. So things like cayenne and cinnamon, for example, black pepper, for example, all of these are heating spices. If you don't want to taste them, but you want the benefit, you could take a supplement like this that's not only going to help with your digestion and stoking that digestive fire, but they have an added benefit in that they are thermogenic, which means that they raise the temperature of your body a little bit. They increase your metabolism, which means that you're going to burn a little bit more calories, which on a day like tomorrow is always a nice thing to know that you're doing for yourself. So that can be another thing. When you get up in the morning, you want to stoke your digestive fire right away with a little ritual that you can do. So here's what I do every morning, and this is an Ayurvedic thing. You get up, you have some warm water with lemon juice, and bonus points, this is really key, if you put some apple cider vinegar in there as well. I know it's not the best flavor that we all enjoy necessarily, but it can really help to get those digestive juices going already right away in the morning so that your body's ready for that big heavy meal and it's not going to come as a shock to your system. And that's actually something that I do every morning. It helps to increase the absorption of your food. It helps to sort of retone the inside of the digestive tract. And so those are some things that you can do. And then of course, probiotics. This is huge. I use all kinds of probiotics. I have probiotics in the meal supplement shakes and bars that I use, as well as prebiotics, which are some materials that help to feed the good gut bacteria that you're putting in there and that you're wanting to maintain so that you do have good gut health. Lots of different probiotics out there, so make sure you take those tomorrow. Now, if you get yourself into a situation where it's like, oh my gosh, I did really overdo it. I ate way too much. We've all done that. A couple of ideas for you. You can take some digestive enzymes. You can buy these pretty much anywhere. Amazon, Vitacost, and I've tried a lot of different kinds of them. I've found really good luck with that particular situation where it's like your food is just like a giant brick in your stomach that's not moving and you don't feel well and it just almost hurts. Take a couple of digestive enzymes, and that will help to start to break that food down for you. Now, some people don't like the idea of taking digestive enzymes because the need for digestive enzymes indicates that there's a deeper problem, which is that the liver is not producing enough digestive enzymes and bile and things. So another thing that you can do is actually some abdominal massage right below your sternum, which is that the cartilage that's right here on your breastbone. Go right below that and do some abdominal massage right along the rims of where your ribs meet the fleshy part of your abdomen. And just kind of get in there and dig around a little bit, move things around a little bit. And there's a lot of videos out there from Ayurvedic people that talk about how this can really help all on its own to stoke that digestive fire. Now, while we're talking about abdominal massage, we have to talk about essential oils because that's one of the things that we talk about here. And the thing is that a lot of the digestive essential oils that we talk about, the cinnamon, the ginger, and all of those, they're very heating and they're actually kind of hard on the skin in terms of what they do to the skin. A lot of people are going to find skin reactions from them. They're not going to be as easy to use. Never use those heating essential oils neat, meaning without carrier oil. But there are a lot of essential oil blends out there that are designed to help with digestion. Now, sidebar, a lot of the companies that market those products will say that they are safe for internal ingestion, and as a certified holistic aromatherapist and a member of the National Association of Holistic Aromatherapy, I will tell you that our independent guidelines based on science that is independently tested say that this is not a safe thing to be doing. And that is extremely true for these types of essential oils that are being marketed as ones that help with digestion, because they're all very strong mucous membrane irritants, which means they're going to actually irritate the entire lining of your digestive system rather than help it. And this this pertains whether you're taking it into a capsule or putting it in water or whatever. It is just not a safe thing to do and not something ethically that I can recommend. Does that mean that you can't use essential oils for digestive problems? Not at all. And when you have the right kind of blend out there, in fact, you could even use that same digestion blend that you would normally be compelled to be ingesting. You can simply use it in abdominal massage. So last week I talked about the fire serum that I have as part of my elemental aromatherapy line. And this would be a really great one to use for abdominal massage. You're just going to put a few squirts on your hand. You're going to go up on the right side of your abdomen, across the abdomen, and then down on the left. And you're just going to do that and kind of work those essential oils into your abdomen. It's going to give a nice warming effect to the abdomen. Remember, we're working on stoking the digestive fire, and it will help to calm down any kind of cramping that's going on, even while it helps with that digestive process and supporting that. It can be really comforting and can really help with that kind of icky feeling that sometimes we get. Final suggestion that I have for you, and this is something that a lot of people don't realize, is that our movement, our bilateral movement of our body, in other words, when we're walking, where our left foot's going forward with our right hand going forward at the same time, and then our right foot goes forward with our left hand, that cross-body bilateral movement is one of the things that actually tells our body to digest. So this is why traditionally so many people go for a stroll after dinner, because it helps to get the digestion going. Now, I'm not suggesting doing any kind of a strenuous workout, but planning to go for a walk an hour or two after you have your big Thanksgiving meal is another thing that can really help to get that digestion moving and help with any uncomfortableness that you have. Of course, just having an overall balanced, healthy lifestyle as it pertains to food, and not feeling like you have to overindulge, because let's be honest, is this the last time you're probably going to ever have any of these foods? No. So do you need to eat it like it's the last thing on the planet? No. In fact, you get to choose not to. You can choose, to maybe have a strategy for yourself, like let's have half of our plate vegetables, even though it's Thanksgiving. We're still going to enjoy some pumpkin pie, and we're still going to enjoy some mashed potatoes and gravy and cranberry sauce, but let's have half of the plate be green vegetables of some kind. That will help to balance that heaviness factor out. Also, having some acidic things in the meal, like the cranberry sauce, can actually help to balance out some of that as well. And then making sure that you're not having like a binge purge mentality towards this. You're not going to starve yourself the rest of the day. So having maybe some very light snacks or meals that include some protein as well as some fiber, maybe in the morning and in the evening, so that the Thanksgiving meal isn't the only thing that your body's doing that day. Why that's important is because when you digest, your body remembers it needs to give you the stuff that you need to digest. And if you go for a long period of time without eating, and then all of a sudden you slam it with this really heavy Thanksgiving meal, it's actually a really hard gear shift for your body to make in many, many ways. That is not really serving you and is not demonstrating self-love to your body. So I want you to be thinking about that. Yes, we're going to enjoy the Thanksgiving meal. And yes, these strategies for stoking that digestive fire are part of that, part of like the zest of life and that joie de vivre and letting us enjoy things. But at the same time, it doesn't mean we throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's so many of these other things that we can do to bring balance into a day, even like tomorrow, that can help us to have an overall healthier approach and relationship with food and with our body and with this time of year. That's also going to leave us not feeling completely horrible after the fact. Looking for more